Alrighty guys, so before we start today's video about the truck and the explosion and everything like that, a couple things I want to cover. First thing is, in the 2021 season, I will be investing in the proper safety equipment such as a fire suit, which people that really care about me and love me, people that I love and care about, were upset about what happened at Cletus and Cars when the truck caught on fire and stuff. And all joking aside, is at the time, you know, drilling's going, I think it's really cool. Looking back on it, I could have been hurt really bad and it could have went wrong. And I was not wearing the proper safety equipment. And even some of you guys pointed that out and made a comment to me that I need to get a fire suit. And it's going to be a rule for the Cletus and Cars event next year, which we're going to touch on in just a minute. But I just want to say that we could have been safer. I could have been safer. And I'm definitely going to change in 2021 for that to be a little bit safer, you know, in the vehicle for stuff like that. Now, the second thing I want to cover is a lot of you guys saw it on Garrett's second channel, the Cletus' second channel, but I want to cover it on this channel because we actually watched it happen. Parker, who has been doing these Cletus and Cars events a lot longer than us. We competed with him last year for the Cateye. We competed with him obviously this year. He was in the competition. He got badly burned when his radiator exploded behind him in Dallas coolant. And I personally watched it and in horror watched it happen. And I knew exactly what happened. And I can only imagine because when the radiator blew up on skid mark, I got sprayed in the cab, but not doused like him. And just a little droplets hurt. I can only imagine being covered in it. He has a GoFundMe set up for his hospital bills. He was really badly burned, and I've got that GoFundMe link. It's right at the very top of the description below. If you guys would go help him out on the medical expenses and stuff like that. But that's all I wanted to cover for today's video. Let's talk about the wild madness that was the skid mark burnout.
Let's go, let's go!
Boys, that has got to be the spiciest thing we have ever done on this channel, without a doubt. Holy crap, when I got out of this truck and saw the front end on the ground, I had no idea what in the world had happened. And for those of you that did not see it, here's just a short clip of the wildness there at the end. So today's video, I want to explain why we did what we did, because it seems like we have to answer for our sins after every Alright guys, so we're going to go over what happened during the burnout, why it happened, or, you know, why we think it happened, things that I did during the burnout that made some of it happen, and also pretty much answering for our sins, because it seems like every year after Cletus and Cars, we have to answer for our sins for blowing up whatever we took there. So we got to answer for that.
We got a lot of pissed off people,
you know,
between YouTube and DMs. I mean, it's you know, it's fun. It's part of the fun.
You know, we'll get this out of the way. We'll get the explanation out of the way right now. This channel, we build these vehicles to do what we want with them. And this is not Whistle and Diesel. I don't set out to destroy these trucks. That's not my goal. But the motor and the driveline is totally different than the exterior and the physical truck itself. I don't destroy these trucks, but I push their driveline to the limit. That's what we're about, is building them and pushing them to what you saw is the breaking point. And, you know, some people seem to think are you okay? You know, some people seem to think you blow up a truck's motor and it's gone forever. Well, this will be the third motor. I mean, we just keep putting them in this truck. And
this is the fourth. If you count the 4A, it'll be the. If we have to swap it, it'll be the fourth motor.
Then the Cateye's on its third. It's just what we do here. It's a part of BTG Performance, and part of the exciting part we think about this channel is when we blow something up, we show you where it went wrong. We show you the hole in the block. We show you the cracked piston. You know, we show you the pieces of the radiator that exploded out of the truck like a missile. You know, that's what I think is so fun about this channel. That's why we do what we do. I'm not sorry for what we did. We had a great time. We were there to compete. And I'll get into, you know, why I did what I did. And apparently a lot of people don't understand. Cleetus & Cars Burnout is a competition. We compete for a grand prize of $3,000. It's a $5,000 total pot. We compete for first place, which is a $3,000 prize, $1,500 to second place, and $500 to third place, which the Cateye got over a year ago. And we're there. Everyone's there to win it. Yeah. You know, if you say you're not in there to win it, then you're lying to yourself, because that's why you came. And when the wheels stopped spinning this truck, and I had people say, why did he sit there for 2 minutes on the limiter? Well, for one, I didn't think it was going to go that long on the limiter, so let me get that straight. Two, I was in competition, so I had to do something to get more points, and that something was, in my mind, blow it up, because I can't do a burnout anymore. It locked up. It was over. So,
and one of the scoring systems is crowd entertainment.
Yeah.
So obviously, shooting the headlight 25 feet is crowd entertainment. Yeah. Did we know that was going to happen? No. Would it have been cooler if the motor was dumped out the bottom? Yes. But we did what we had to do, and
yeah, I knew that it wasn't doing a burnout. And that became quite apparent after I let off the brake to skid around some more, and it didn't move, and I looked in the mirror. And this was the only way I knew how to get crowd entertainment. Now, the problem is I underestimated, or I forgot about the indestructible nature of a 5.3. And this motor would not give it up. I sat there on that limiter. I was spraying nitrous the whole time. 10 pounds of nitrous went through this motor during that burnout before we got to where we were at. And it wouldn't let go. And I actually, midway through the 2 minutes, turned the electric fans off, which overheated to the point, created so much pressure, it blew the radiator apart. Now, the fire, on the other hand, was something totally unrelated. It didn't have to do with the explosion in the radiator. I think it just happened to happen at the same time. But the fire was trans fluid catching on fire. It blew the line.
It was that oil from the head. It dumped directly on it's running down the header.
I thought
which we'll show you.
I'm pretty sure trans fluid caught on fire.
It's running down the header. There's a stream of going down the header,
okay.
And it ignited oil. We think we still got to tear into it too. So
yeah, we have that. That's in the next video, tearing into it. But I just wanted to explain what we think. We blew the trans line out.
Yep.
The oil
coming from the head.
Yeah,
we lifted the head. It looks like it does not look good.
Yeah,
so.
And I think when that happened, it ignited. You know, that all on fire, and they had to put the fire out. And that's when I turned the truck off, exited the vehicle, and let the fire crew do their job. The crowd absolutely loved it. And one thing also, we're talking about the safety of it. They tell us to be in the center of the box if we're going to do something like that. And I was in the center of the box. I was plenty far away from the crowd, and anyone who was inside of the barriers, which is the Cleetus & Cars staff, Garrett himself and Cam holding the camera here today, were behind concrete barriers while I was doing it. They were ducking.
Fearing for their lives.
Maybe. But everyone was safe. No one was hurt. And I'll tell you, there was way scarier and sketchier things done by our opponents than what I did. Yeah. I promise you. There was stuff where even I was concerned for the safety of everyone standing around.
I actually left about halfway through the burnout comp, the silver C10 that caught on fire. Yeah. It shot parts over our heads, and at that point, I was like, nope, I'm done. I literally went back and sat at the trailer because I was like, this is just too sketchy.
Cleetus & Cars the burnout competition was intense.
Yeah.
Even if everything had went good, we'd have had tough competition just because of how impressive everybody's show was. It rained at Cleetus & Cars, and things really got dicey. They rushed some things. We were put into the burnout box, as you guys see, when it was wet, and some people competed dry. They came in and brushed it afterwards, so there was people did two different burnouts. You had to deal with the water on the first half, and the other people had a regular burnout. It's not an excuse because the person who won did it in the water.
Yep,
just like we did. Yep. So that's not an excuse. I'm just saying people had a different burnout, and it was definitely an interesting dynamic. But I think that's enough talking about it. I think we've explained ourselves. Let me show you guys some of the carnage. So come over here. I want you guys to see what the normal side of this radiator looks like. Okay, see that black plastic piece? Austin, you want to show them what is missing on the other side?
So this side goes down in here like this, and obviously it's non-existent. The seal is literally here. It blew the side of the radiator off. There's actually a piece.
Pieces down.
I don't know why I took it out.
I think it fell out.
Okay, but it was actually still hose clamped on the hose. And you can see it literally just break off and it tucks down there.
That's what's shooting.
It's coming from this hose.
So you see, it blew the bracket that holds the headlights. And when it did that, it blew the bracket out, which the piece is still here. Which, if you guys saw on Instagram, I took a picture with the guy and tagged him on Instagram that has that, the biggest piece of the housing. There was a couple pieces auctioned off or just given away after the burnout. And then the lower headlight was separate. And it blew the grill when it did that too. There's an AC condenser right in front of that. The Cateye has one that probably would have kept it from doing that if the truck still had AC. But because it didn't, it was just a straight shot to blow the headlight and everything else out. And I'm sure we ripped the headlights completely.
No, they're still, the clips are still here.
The clips, okay.
Yeah,
just really ripped the bulbs. I mean, that's how big the explosion was. It shot the bulbs out with it and sent the whole thing. Now, the next thing that happened was everyone saw the explosion, everyone saw the fire. So you can see the extra crispy backside of the firewall, which did its job. It's crispy, son, let me tell you.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they put it out pretty quick, but we have got a oil-soaked head over here. This one, I think, is probably where the problem lies, because it's just soaked through here. After they extinguished the fire, which the video didn't do any justice, it burned for, how long did it burn? 20 seconds?
Yeah, they got it. The dude, if you're watching the video, the dude literally has his knees up on the wall because he knew like what we were trying to do.
And that's the thing too, is a big shout out to their fire crew because they were on me super fast after it caught on fire. They were running over the wall to put it out. And they did a great job. Thankfully, I got out and I was fine because I had actually unstrapped before that point. So I could get out of the vehicle fast. But it burned. I mean, you saw the flames in the video. It freaking shot flames out of this thing. Underneath caught on fire too, which one other thing that I want to talk about. The rear end was doing something wonky. So in the video, and a lot of you guys may not have caught it. We caught it in the raw footage when we were playing back through it. And I noticed it skidding around. It was having a hard time sliding around. Now, it could have been when we had wet and dry patches and it would slip and it would unlock and lock, but it's one tire was spinning, one tire wasn't, like it was an open diff. But then, you know, we have a locker. Then when I sat still and did the big burnout, which before we lost the trans or wherever we lost, it had both tires and they were spinning fine. It was smoking like hell. So that's something we've got to look into. I don't know if the rear end is broken or the locker went out on us, but it turns freely. The rear end's not locked up, but something's weird with the locker for sure, and we got to go back and look at raw footage too and see exactly what happened there. But some people said we threw the drive shaft out. We didn't. Austin removed the drive shaft because we could not get the truck to go backwards. It would only go forward.
I know. I was saying on the trailer, I heard a lot of people saying like, "Oh, the drive shaft is literally hanging there." I had to undo it and actually don't translate everywhere.
So before I get it show you guys the stuff inside, I want to show you the body damage that we did create. Some of this was done by the loader that pushed me, but this right here is that wall tap. So it was so wet. When I swung around, the truck, while spinning the tires, went backwards into a wall right there, right in front of Garrett, and crumpled that in good. And I'll be completely honest, that is nothing compared to what we thought we were going to damage. I told the guys, it was so wet, I said, I'm going to hit every wall in that box, just trying to control this thing. And I only got the one wall tap in because, you know, I didn't say any burnout, we lost it. But that's funny. We'll have to get a new roll pan. I don't know. We'll pull it out. I don't really think I'm going to go crazy with that and fix that. I mean, I don't even care. I might just dust over some paint.
If somebody wants to send us one of those like Band-Aid stickers, we'll just like put it over right here.
Band-Aid.
And yeah, that'll be it. So.
Yeah, but I do want a new roll pan because that hurts my feelings. Cause, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit it up in there.
You might be right. We're gonna have to do some work to get the roll pan.
This one was a struggle to put in there with it not crunching.
We'll fix that. So yeah, but let me show you guys some stuff here on the inside. Inside, everything's fine. Nothing got hurt in here, but I want to show you guys something. There's no gears. There's not a park. There's not a reverse neutral drive 3, 2, 1. It's just, that's what I had. Somebody said something about shifting gears in the burnout to make the because it wasn't gone. Brothers, it was gone. There was nothing here. It's all gone. So we got to look at the linkage, which we'll do in the next video. But I mean, I did all I could do here, and some of you guys caught in the video. I've got my fans here. In the video, you see me turn the fans off, and at that point, I'm watching. I look at Cletus. I throw my helmet, the shield down on the helmet, because I know it's going to explode. And I start unbuckling my harness at that point, because I know it's going to overheat and lock up, explode or something. And of course it did. Thankfully, I was out of my harness and I exited the vehicle. The only thing I didn't do on the way out was turn nitrous off, but thankfully the fire crew did turn that off for me while I was doing the interview out there, and we were giving parts away and having a good time. They did their job. So one thing that we think, though, and I want to throw this in as we wrap up the video here, because you got to stay tuned. We don't think that motor's blown up.
So we're gonna,
because we watched the raw footage on the helmet, and all I'm saying is there was 60 psi of oil pressure when I turned it off.
So in the next video, we're gonna pull the plugs, just because if it lifted that head, I don't want there to be any fluid in the cylinders. So we're gonna pull the plugs, turn it over, and if fluid comes out, if it doesn't come out, we're gonna throw the plugs back in it, wires, try to crank it. So definitely.
So that is going to do it for today's video. Stay tuned. The next video coming out, we are going to dive into this thing, see if it still runs, look at the transmission, probably pull the transmission. Either way, we want to pull the transmission and give it over to Rob to look through it, because we beat on that thing hard this year. So we want to make sure everything is correct. But we're going to look into this motor, see if we can get it to fire back up, because boy, wouldn't that blow some people's minds if it still ran. So I appreciate you guys watching. Go check out the video of it blowing up if you have not already. If you have already seen it, we appreciate your support. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, Cletus Cars, and we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Drop any comments you got down below. You got something to add?
Thank you guys for supporting us. Those of you who were there at the event, I know there was a lot of comments that said like y'all even went down to watch it. We appreciate the support. You guys are what made this possible. Definitely stay tuned to the next video. You're going to want to see the carnage. We're actually about to start tearing it down right now, so we'll see you in the next video.
Appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Have a great day.